everyone, and welcome to a new journal with me. So today I'm going to be sharing the spread I did on the book Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. As you may have noticed on the front of my journal, I had a sticker for this book, so clearly I enjoy it and wanted to do a spread on it. So as you can see, I tried a bunch of different lettering options. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, so I tried a bunch of stuff out, and then I ended up going with this type of lettering. It's not anything crazy, but I really like the way that it turned out, so I thought I would just kind of explain the different pictures that I chose for this spread. So there is a picture that is like a blue and purple sunset night sky, which just reminded me of the cover of the book. So I thought that that would work really well on the spread. And then next to it, I have a picture of the characters that was drawn by the author of this book, Alice Oseman. I really love Alice Oseman's drawing style and her art, so I wanted to include a picture of the characters that she drew. And then on the right side, there's a picture of a person wearing a shirt with a computer with a frowny face on it, which is pretty much a shirt that the character from the story wears. So I saw that on Pinterest and just thought it was perfect. By the way, all these pictures came from Pinterest, if you are wondering. And then the other picture that I have is of a bunch of art supplies because the main character, Frances, is really into drawing fan art for a podcast, and that is a big part of the story. So yeah, I thought that those pictures really worked well with the story and the spread that I wanted to do. So I'll talk a little bit about what this book is actually about. So we are following a 17-year-old girl named Frances who is kind of nearing her end of her school years and is trying to figure out what university she wants to go to. School is very important to her, and she takes studying and school very seriously. But when she's not focusing on school, she actually does a lot of fan art for a podcast on YouTube called Universe City. It's something that she absolutely loves and is kind of a part of the fandom for, so she creates fan art for it, and that's something that she's very passionate about. And this story sort of starts out with Frances getting a direct message on Twitter from the anonymous creator of the podcast, asking her to create fan art for some of the podcast episodes, and it just kind of goes from there, and I don't really think you should know too much going into it. It's definitely more of a character-based story, but I just really enjoy all of the things and topics that were discussed in this book. There's a lot of discussions around fandom and friendships, your future with schooling, and trying to figure out what you want to do. There's also characters who are a part of the LGBTQ+ community, and there's also just a lot of great representation for a lot of different things in this book. But yeah, there are a lot of great messages and themes in this book. One that I could really relate to is all of these characters kind of trying to figure out what they want to do with their future and struggling with that. That is something that I could definitely relate to. I also could really relate to a lot of the things revolving around fandoms because I've basically been in a bunch of different fandoms my whole life. So that was really cool to see as well. I also really loved all of the discussions and things around friendship in here. I just loved the two main characters and their friendship and seeing how it developed, how it changed. I definitely would recommend this to anyone who's 16 or 17 or 18 years old, trying to figure out what they want to do with their future. But also I think anyone at any age could enjoy this book because I am 21 years old and I really enjoyed this book and could relate to it in a lot of other ways as well. So I definitely would recommend it to anyone who thinks that they might be interested in this book. So one of the quotes that I actually wrote down on this journal spread on that little postcard that's ripped was, "Hello, I hope somebody is listening," which is one of the kind of iconic quotes from the podcast within this story. So I just felt like I needed to write that one down on the spread. And then the quote that I wrote on the right side of this spread was, "I think everyone's a bit bored with boy-girl romances anyway." And I just really love the quotes from this book. This book genuinely made me laugh, it made me emotional, and I think Alice Oseman did a really good job of describing the way teenagers feel about these things, the way they act, and I just really loved this book. So please read this if you have not already. But I think that that is all I wanted to say. So I hope that you enjoyed this journal with me. I hope I maybe convinced somebody to read this book and pick it up. And I hope that it leaves an impression on you like it did on me. I absolutely love this book. I ended up giving it 5 stars. So it definitely is a new favorite and I definitely would recommend. So I will leave you all to enjoy the rest of this video. But I hope you enjoy, and I would love to know what you thought about Radio Silence if you've read it. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this video.